The red flag began when I had a difficult time reasoning, putting things together, problem solving, forgetting something that I put away just a couple hours ago. And it became more and more. It was more often. I read an article and oh my God, it was like, okay, I'm at level 5. I wouldn't accept it at first. It's like, oh no, it can't be. In my mind, I'm too young. According to these articles, I'm at the right age. I was shopping. I forgot my PIN number. I could not think of it at all. It wasn't there. So that worried me. I was very concerned about that. And when I thought about it, I spent a large portion of each day looking for things. I mean, I can sit in one place and lose a piece of paper. So I became depressed, not knowing that I was depressed, because I was getting more and more frustrated because every day it seemed to be a struggle. Every day I was apologizing for not problem solving, or making the wrong decision, or I can't find something, I don't know where this is. And I began to read again, and it began to sink in that this is a great possibility that this is happening to me, and that made me angry because who wants that? I already have issues. My back is already hurting. My legs are messed up from accident. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't want to share the information. So I just kept it in. And more kept happening to me.
How hard was it for you to discuss it with your mate?
It was extremely hard. I didn't want to give in and say it has to be something else. And I said that I wanted to know so that I can fight this. But then I didn't want to know. I don't know. I was just fearful. And I thought about all the horrible things that happened. And I knew that if this is what I have and the day comes when my partner has to take the car keys or the house keys from me, that would be very difficult. And in addition, I didn't want to be a burden, because I know how difficult it is to take care of someone that's ill.
You have children?
Yeah.
Have you had an opportunity or plan to have a discussion with your children about what's going on in your world?
Well, I shared the information with my daughter, and I laughed about it, and we talked about it. She came over today, and we talked some more, and I told her that I'm better and I'm not spending my days like I am now crying, that I did make the decision to go. I have to know what it is that I have to fight. And if I don't have it, then okay, great, whatever it is, I want to know. And I know that I have to think about taking any kind of trial drugs. I really don't want to do that. If it gets where I can't take care of myself, I just want somebody to put me to sleep.
One disease, millions of lives permanently disrupted. Today, there are over 5 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease. But Alzheimer's is taking more than memories. It's taking lives. What few realize is that Alzheimer's kills more people than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. And Alzheimer's is the only disease in the top 10 causes of death that can't be slowed, stopped, or prevented. From 2000 to 2013, while deaths from other diseases decreased significantly, Alzheimer's deaths increased 71%. But equally disturbing, many living with Alzheimer's say they are not being told their diagnosis. While more than 90% of people with the most common types of cancer say they are told their diagnosis, only 45% of people with Alzheimer's or their caregivers say they are told. The economic toll is staggering too. In 2015, it will cost the nation $226 billion to care for people with Alzheimer's. By 2030, 72 million baby boomers will reach an age of greater risk. The fact is, everyone's at risk for Alzheimer's, even you. But everyone can help, especially you. We're the Alzheimer's Association, the brains behind saving yours. Join us.
Glad we're doing this. And it's very difficult. I mean, sometimes people listen to conversations and listen to people sharing their story and they think, oh, that's easy. They're just talking, but it's not easy to talk about this.
No.
But it's so necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot even imagine the countless people, first of all, who either are going through it right now and have no one to talk to about it. Because that isolation and denial together is just, it's deafening. It just chokes the life right out of you. And then those persons who are really going through it and just need to know that they're not alone while they're going through it.
Yeah. Everybody needs to know that they're not the only one.
Right.
Not only for being able to stay uplifted,
Right.
and stay on the right track, but so you don't end up in a depression.
Right.
Because there's nothing more isolating than thinking that no one else can relate to your experience.
Right. Right. I think what's also important is that once you and who your loved one has accepted that there's something wrong, it may not be Alzheimer's, but it's some form of dementia.
Some form of dementia,
Then you decide how you're going to fight it. What tools are available to fight it, but to find as much joy in every day, every hour, every second as possible. That's why I didn't say a lot to people. I didn't even bother to try to respond. But that's why we went to New York, and that's why we went on the cruise, and that's why we went to San Francisco, and that's why we're probably going to go on 2 or 3 more trips in the next 2 or 3 months, because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but I know about today.
Right.
That's all I know. And so every day that I get up and everything is okay, reasonable, reasonable, I'm very happy with that. And what I'm trying to make myself do and in prayer is not try to jump ahead, not try to live tomorrow today.
Right.
Not try to fear tomorrow today.
And that's what it is. I think we fear more the unknown than
Oh, absolutely.
If I had only known then what I know now. You see, now you can go and have a screening for Alzheimer's. You can get early detection. If you are suspect at all, you can get an answer. There are treatments now. There are medications. So you have choices. So you can make decisions based on knowledge rather than fear.
Have someone that you love in this type of situation, you're in denial too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want it to be.
No, you don't. You don't. You know, like I know my mom slowed down. I know her memory isn't the way it is. And this is what it is, and I don't want to experience it. But because I don't experience life the way she is experiencing it, with the memory loss and slowing down and all those other kind of things. But she's so sharp on other things.
Right. Got you.
So from the outside looking at her, I'm like, she's selective in what she wants to remember and what she doesn't want to remember.
Oh my word. I went through that.
And it makes you angry.
Oh.
And I don't know even how to get out of that because I can't think that my mom would do things to make me angry or make me miserable.
I went through that exact same thing. And I'm telling you, there's no worse feeling because it's like, you understand this, but you don't understand that.
Right. I'm like, oh, you remember telling me this yesterday, but you don't remember me just now telling you?
Oh my word.
And I'm getting better at controlling my tone so that she doesn't get
tearful
and upset because she is emotion.
Right.
And depressed. She is absolutely depressed. So very small things can set her off.
I have calmed down in these past few days to a level where I'm finally proud of myself. Because for 2 years, some of the conversations that we have had, I have not been proud of myself.
Mm.
Because I've expected something from someone who lacked the ability to give it to me.
Right.
And I didn't get it. I got it and I didn't get it.
Right, you don't. You do, but you don't.
Right. And so I just was like, are you trying to sabotage me? I mean, we're not working with me. We don't have this that we've had all the time.
And then you go, why are you being so selfish? Why are you self-centered?
All of that.
I still have those thoughts. And I'm like, because it's not just mental for her, it's also physical. She can't do a lot of things.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Physically.
Right.
So
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And we had the conversation when I suggested we move in because I had an emotional breakdown last year.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I said it would be better for me emotionally and logistically if we lived in the same house, at least for a little while, so we can see which direction you're going to go with your health.
Right.
I said, because it's a lot on me and I don't want to come check on you because it's a lot.
Sure.
So she was going without things. She was going without water or going without food for a few days because she didn't want to bother me.
You learn a lot when you go through things. And going through stuff like this is not easy from any perspective because you have the disease itself to face, you have the person you love and you care about who's facing it, and you have to watch them face it, and then you have to be supportive and help them while they're facing it and face it with them. And then you become too aware of all the people that are in your life
that really don't give a damn about you and what you're going through. And in the midst of what you're going through, don't mind asking you to do shit for them. It's like unbelievable to me. And so, again, you just keep it's just, oh my gosh, I can't even. It's hard. And then you can only talk to select people to begin with. I mean, this isn't something you just go around.
No, you can't.
There's so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So you're bottled up. It's like, I can't stuff another thing in there. So, I mean, come on. And people are going through this all over the world.
And nobody talks about it.
And nobody's talking about it in a setting. It's not like, you can go and at a bar and sit at the bar and just have an open conversation like you do about everything else, like boyfriends and sex and blah, 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 Mm-hmm. It's just not a conversation, an open conversation that you can have anywhere with anybody, anytime, any place. And damn it, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Because you got to get that out. You have to. I mean, we nourish each other through affection and through sharing and through giving of advice and through hugs and things. That's how we, as humans, function properly.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't have those opportunities, we don't function so well. We don't do so good.
Popular actress and television personality Linda Dano became a caregiver to her father in 1991. He was showing signs of Alzheimer's, but had not been properly diagnosed, and his family didn't know what was happening.
He was having trouble finding his way home. And I remember my mother getting him a bracelet with his address on it. And I thought that was strange, and I thought, well, this must be what senility is.
Linda decided it was time to move her parents from California to New York so she could watch over them.
I thought, in my naivete, that I was going to save him. And that everything would be just swell the second I brought him to me. Boy, was I wrong about that.
The move just intensified his symptoms.
We'd put him to bed, and we would think he'd be in bed, and all of a sudden you'd hear crashes and commotion, and you would run into the room, and he, at one point, was in my husband Frank's closet, and he was tearing it apart. He didn't know where he was.
Linda's father was finally diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
When I was then told all of the signs of it, I went, oh my God, he's the classic case. Everything that happened I did with love and complete devotion to him. But you see, my love just wasn't enough.
I can only say that this is a very difficult time. It is the most challenging time that I think that we've ever spent. It's scary. It's unsettling. Venturing into the unknown is it's overwhelming. I cry every day at some point. I pray every day. I cry every day. But I laugh every day too, because I'm determined that for whatever amount of time we share, at this point it has to be great. It has to be fun. It has to be light. We have to be there for each other. For each other. 2 years ago, I had an inclination that something was wrong. And I tried to approach it, but I couldn't hit it. I just could not say that to her head on, because at that time, with other things that were going on, I felt as though it would have crushed her. And I never wanted to be the person to ruin or deflate her self-esteem. So I let it go. I let it go. But our interactions became rugged. We've always worked together, we've always had businesses together, and she was always the detailed one, the one that had everything in order, the answer person, the go-to person. And so quite naturally, I continued leaning on her for advice and for direction and for paperwork and for timeliness. And those things began to diminish. I heard Oprah Winfrey on an interview with Barbara Walters try to explain her relationship with Gail. And it's so funny because everything that she said about Gail, I can say about my companion. She's the friend that everyone should have. Through her, I learned how to love. I learned patience with myself. I learned the art of forgiveness. I've never known anyone to love me, to forgive me, to listen to me, to care for me the way that she has. And that's incredible. And in terms, in thinking of losing that in any manner is just too much. If you suspect that there's something not regular about your memory or the memory of your mate or other loved ones, don't wait. Don't wait. Because every day, every second, every hour is precious. Be proactive. Go and find out what it is, because it may not be dementia. It may not be Alzheimer's. It could be something else.